This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for May 21, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, taxi passengers injured in Manchester two-vehicle crash. Several passengers of a public passenger vehicle were hospitalized this Saturday night following a two-vehicle crash on the Winston Jones Highway near Mandeville. Reports are that the crash involved a Toyota Isis, operated as the taxi, and a Toyota Prado. It reportedly happened about 7:30 p.m. The taxi driver told the news that he was traveling uphill towards Mandeville when the crash happened. The car was turning in the corner, and as me bend the corner, I look up in her. Me hold on on my hand, try to take the right lane, and it still come over there and hit the back of the vehicle. And it flipped about 3 times and slid, he said. He added that the front seat passenger of the taxi was badly injured. Mangoes and the slippers littered the road following the crash. Scaredem crew's Boom Dandemite dies in hospital. Former Scaredem crew member Boom Dandemite died Sunday morning in a hospital in the U.S. after suffering a relapse during his recovery from a terrible car accident in April that had left him bedridden. Boom Dandemite traveled to the U.S. yesterday, but after he came off the plane, he fainted away. He just got sick not long after reaching the U.S. He started to foam at the mouth, so they rushed him to a hospital, and he died this morning, a source told the news. The U.S. doctors say he had blood clots, all sorts of complications, he had pneumonia, and the doctors also said that a lot of his medical issues were ignored wherever he was being treated in Jamaica. The accident occurred on Halfway Tree Road near a popular bakery in late April. Another rising DJ, Willful Skillful, was also injured in the accident. Dandemite was hospitalized while Willful Skillful was discharged and sent home. Days later, Boom Dandemite, whose real name is Herman Stewart, was discharged from hospital. Boom Dandemite, along with his friends Nitty Kochi, Harry Toddler, and Elephant Man, formed the Scaredem crew back in the 1990s. The crew was closely aligned to Bounty Killer, who would take them on tours to ensure they gained exposure. They scored hits with songs such as Pure Gal and Many Many. He was also slated to perform on Reggae Sumfest on July 21 as a part of the Boombox 90s Badness, along with the likes of General B, Harry Toddler, Jigsy King, Mega Banton, Nitty Kochi, Silvercat, and Tony Curtis. Church leader calls for boycott of Labor Day activities to protest. Bishop Dr. Alvin Bailey, head of the Holiness Christian Church, chairman of Jamaica Cause, and leader of the Jamaica Evangelical Alliance, has called on all Jamaicans to boycott the 2023 Labor Day activities on May 23 in protest against the massive increase in salaries granted to parliamentarians. I call on all citizens to stay home and use the day to labor in their personal spaces instead of engaging in the public activities as outlined by the government, he said. This action, Bishop Bailey said, will send a strong message to the political leaders that Jamaicans should not be taken for granted or exploited and serve in the interest of our society, and the well-being of all Jamaicans are the reasons they were elected. According to the clergy, the Labor Day holiday, which has been rooted in the thinking that workers should be recognized for their contribution to nation building, while creating activities to improve the physical spaces in the country and boost the national pride, has now been undermined by what he said was an act of greed. In a previous statement, Bishop Bailey promised to lead a public campaign with the support of the church community, private sector, and the well-thinking Jamaicans to speak out against what he described as an injustice to the citizens and to keep protesting until the new salary package has been reviewed. The huge salary increases for politicians were announced in Parliament on Tuesday by Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. In some cases, the salaries for the political directorate has been increased by more than 200%. The increases to parliamentarians will cost $1.7 billion over 3 years. According to Bishop Bailey, the unconscionable, disgraceful, and insensitive increases in salaries that the Minister of Finance announced were to benefit a select number of privileged public servants. This, to my mind, is an insult and a slap in the face of the average working class Jamaican. He went on to note that the significant salary increases were symbolic of an acceleration in moral decay aimed at widening the class structure while being insensitive to the plight of the Jamaican people who continue to suffer from economic hardships. Contrary to the Information Minister Robert Morgan's statement, the process might not be simple, but the proposed new salaries can and must be rolled back, as to pursue that plan will hurt the future of our country for the short-term personal benefit of a few, Bishop Bailey said. A mom's lingering grief following death of 15-year-old. LaToya Reese is no stranger to grief. Reese's 15-year-old daughter Nastasia Turner, who was a student at Homewood Technical High School in Manchester, died earlier in March. The girl's 15-year-old cousin was taken into custody in relation to her death immediately after, as initial reports indicated that the two girls were fighting when they both fell, causing Turner to hit her head. However, Reese maintained that her daughter was being constantly bullied, and though she attempted to have the issue squashed, her efforts were not enough. It is believed that a question of paternity played a major role in the girl's bullying. The grieving mother, who helplessly watched as Turner took her last breath, is now left to pick up the pieces, and 2 months later, she is still struggling to cope with the fact that she will never see her daughter walking down the street of their Mendestown Trelawney community as she normally would on her journey from school. It has been very sad because we miss her. I miss her presence very much. I miss her smile and the relationship that we had. I'm not coping well, but I'm trying my best to go on, Reese told the news. She went on to explain that while the days seem to go past, her daughter's death still feels like an open wound, and she spends a lot of time questioning what she could have done differently to save her life. Another dagger in the heart comes from knowing that her daughter's cousin gets to continue living her life like nothing happened, Reese told the news. She is now living in the neighboring community with her grandparents. She was moved from this community, but people still see her, and I passed her in Christiana the other day. That was very hard for me because I felt the same heartache all over again. Because to know that she killed my daughter and is still walking up and down is very sad, the mother said as her voice started to crack. The image of her daughter lying in the road still plays in the woman's mind as a reminder of what took place on the Tuesday evening when her daughter died. Reese remembers the evening vividly as her daughter came home from school complaining about being bullied by her cousin. Unlike other reports, Reese told the news that her daughter did not attempt to fight back and she is left traumatized after seeing Turner's head being slammed onto the road. Sharing that she became pregnant with Turner at the age of 18, Reese told the news that she spent a lot of birthdays celebrating with her daughter. However, she was robbed of that opportunity last Wednesday on her 34th birthday. I cry every day. Wednesday was my birthday and the whole day I was there sitting on the grave crying, she said. Meanwhile, Reese stated that neither the parents of the accused teenager nor her uncle, who is Turner's father, have reached out to talk to her after the incident. They also did not attend the child's funeral, she told the news. No, I'm me alone bury her. Nobody from that side of the family came to the funeral. It was just me and my family, said Reese. She further explained that her attempts to receive updates from the police were met with roadblocks. The police said that I have to wait because our cousin did not use a knife or a stick to hit her. They have to go to some bigger heads in the police force. Nobody would feel good about hearing that, but I just have to wait, she said. When contacted by the news, commanding officer for the Trelawney Police Division, Deputy Superintendent Winston Milton, explained that the police were awaiting a ruling from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions to determine if there was criminal liability. Acknowledging that she was still learning to live without her daughter, Reese said she is hoping to receive counseling to assist her with the process. Some people came here when she just passed to talk to me, but they haven't come back since she was buried. I want to get counseling, but I don't even know where to go. I am just depressed and confused, Reese said. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.